Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? How are you guys feeling? So, let me just start by saying this, okay? Sinners is one of the most wild, brilliant, unapologetically black films I've seen in a long time. I'm gonna keep it real. It really is, though. Like, literally, okay? I went in, like, expecting, like, a decent horror flick, and, of course Michael B. Jordan was in it, right? So I literally came out fully shook, inspired, and honestly kind of emotional. So let's break it all down. What makes this movie so powerful? Why do you need to see it? Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Okay. Okay. Imagine if Django had a baby with Blade, spark a little bit of, say, a little bit of the color purple, add a whole lot of vampires, rebellion, music, love, and somehow it just all works. Okay. That's what Sinners feels like. I'll say it's a genre bending experience for me, like it's just bold, it's just deep, it's just just so much creativity. It is garlic powder water, it is vampire zones, whatever you think it is that's like supernatural, it's that and then some. Okay, we gonna get into it. Okay, first and foremost, Michael B. Jordan dual performance. Okay, let's talk about Michael B. Jordan. Not only is he the star, he's two stars. Okay, he plays twins. Okay, Smoke and Stack. Okay, I'm telling you, you forget it's just the same actor, because that's how good he is, because both characters are so different, like so layered, so emotionally real. It's a full-blown acting masterpiece. Okay, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. It's just two brothers. One got this smooth, torture soul vibe, while the other more like reckless, more rebellious, but still deep. We're gonna get into it. Like, there's like two love stories that hit different. Now, let's talk about that now. This part really got me, I would say. One of the twins falls in love with a plus size black woman, who's not only fine as hell, okay, but she's also like a voodoo priestess. It gave me Erica Badu vibes, and she's powerful, like for real. This relationship, like, just completely just takes you there. Okay, it's like this relationship flips Hollywood like beauty standards like on its head, if we keeping it a buck. Then there's the other twin. He's caught in like an intense, heartbreaking love story with like a white passing black woman. Their history is messy, beautiful, and like raises so many questions about race and identity and regret. Like, we have to talk about that. Now, I also would like to talk about the music. Like, oh my god, the music. Okay, music as a superpower. Let's talk about that. Okay, then we've got this preacher son. He's a young gifted guitarist whose music can literally bend time. Through his playing, we go from like Delta blues to trap to like metal to like traditional Asian melodies. It's like cultural fusion, on another level. The film uses music not just as like soundtrack, but as a tool for connecting, resistance and storytelling. It's spiritual, it's black, it's transcendent, it's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, just absolutely beautiful. Now let's talk about the vampires and the segregation and like garlic water, child, because that's the part that got me, the garlic water. Now let me just say this. Okay, I'm gonna say this again for the people in the back. Racist vampires. Okay, what? We're talking about like supernatural cultures enforcing segregation laws, draining like communities, and living off of black pain. But the resistance, oh, it's fire. Like, it's fierce. Okay, I'm just gonna get into that. Okay, there's garlic water, juke joints turned into like a safe haven, and a community that refuses to give up joy even in the face of like blood-sucking oppression. Literally, and kind of figuratively, literally. This film goes deep. It doesn't like shy away from racism, colorism, or like war profiting or like generational trauma. You see betrayal between communities, hidden identities, and those like little everyday, I'll say those everyday microaggressions, that hit too close to home, like that white man spitting on the floor on like the white like that white man spitting on the floor of the building he's selling to a black man. Yeah, Coogler knew what he was doing with that scene, because it just definitely made me want to fight. I'm not gonna hold you. I felt like I wanted to fight. Visually, this movie is stunning. It was shot using IMAX and ultra provision cameras. Coogler even, consulted with Christopher Nolan for the cinematic edge, and it shows, the lighting, the framing, the textures. It's all like, it's just all adds to the richness of the story, and I just could not have seen this anywhere else. I felt like if I would have seen it at home, especially with how dark it was, I wouldn't have had the, cinematic impression that I had. I feel as though you have to go to theaters to see this, just because it's a whole nother experience watching it in theaters than doing it at home. And there's heart behind it. Cougar, the person who shot all of this, the producer, he actually made Sinners as a tribute to his late uncle, who loved the blues. The post credit scenes with like Buddy Guy, man, it hit hard. Like, it hit me hard, at least. It's about legacy, it's about music, it's about memory, and honoring those who came before us. You can see that love, throughout the entire film. You can see that this was made for love, made from love. It's just beautiful. Just the visuals, everything is just absolutely beautiful. And it's not just me. Critics are loving it too. Sinners has 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. People magazine call it like just his best work. Spike Lee said it embodies black cinematic power, and honestly, I couldn't agree more. Like, it's absolutely amazing. We all think that this is like just a hit. I've known people that don't like movies, people that don't really like entertain new movies, and they love this film. They would go out and watch this film. It's that dope. Okay, so yeah, Sinners is more than just a vampire movie. It's bold, it's culturally, just there. What I'm saying? It just taps into a whole nother world. It's about identity, legacy, resistance, and survival. It's weird in its time right now, in a lot of ways. It's a masterpiece. I'm not like a movie promoter, but listen, just go see it. Go see this movie, okay? And when I tell you, the part that stuck out to me is these different relationships. Like, he had a, like, I would say, the relationship with the white woman, how she was already married. And it was a lot of that. Like, there was a lot of married women here pushing the envelope. Like, these women are whole married, got whole husbands out here just trying to sneak off and be creeping. I don't know. This was the show or the movie for the side chicks, okay? This movie definitely, what I'm saying, did its big one, because the preacher's son gave that lady some head, some oral, and I'm telling you, she just started singing, she started dancing, she was shaking her body, she was taken up by the oral. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, it teaches you how to give fellatio. I'm saying, if that's what you're trying to learn, this is the movie for you. But it's such a powerful movie, guys, so I really feel like you guys should go see it and watch it and tell me what you think about it. I love you guys. Bye bye.